Well, how's it going, everybody? Today is Wednesday. It's kind of hard to keep up with the days right now because the kids have been out of school for so long, and that's how I used to keep up with what day it was. So, it's about time to retire this shirt. It's been a little bit of a struggle lately because it's been raining so much. We're having like record rainfall, or so far it's been the wettest start to the year. And it's just been like a hurry up and wait game because you get a couple days where you can get something done, and then so you're trying to hurry, and then it rains a whole bunch, and then you sit around and wait. But this field here, number 9, I plowed it with a big disc probably 2 weeks ago, I think. Seems like 2 weeks ago. And I went over it 3 times, had it real deep and fluffy and all that good stuff. And then it was either that night or the next night, it ended up raining a couple inches, and the field just got completely full of water and all the fluffiness of the dirt. And this field also catches a lot of rainwater off the side of those fields, and it usually runs through the middle of it. And you actually see right behind this little disc right now, it's still kind of really wet there. But we couldn't even drive out here for several days. I tried a couple times, couldn't even get out here even with the big disc and the new Puma. Tried going with this a couple times, and that didn't work either. Then eventually yesterday, Jeremy was able to go over the whole thing. He left some ruts and all that, but we needed to get over it to bust the seal off. And what I mean by a seal is it rained so hard that it made a seal, like a crust over the top of it, and it would have never dried out. So he was able to go over it and get it opened up so it would dry. So yesterday was the first day the sun was out in about 10 days. Prior to that, it's been either cloudy, misting, fog, or raining, and even just light showers to heavy downpours. So yesterday he got to go over it and get it all opened up, and it dried out quick. I don't know if you could see the dust kicking off the top, but you can see how wet it is once he goes over it again. And we still got those really wet spots over there, and there's some in the back corner over there that's really wet. And then anyway, so right now he's trying to go over it again, and he's going to try to pull more moisture out of it. The sun's supposed to be shining right now, but it's not. It's going to be 90 degrees today, and then we got a small chance of rain tomorrow and a bigger chance of rain on Friday. So I want this field done at least before Friday night, and then that way we don't have to worry about it, because if it gets rained on it again, then it's going to take another couple weeks for it to get done. We got 4 fields completely done, ready for seed. And as soon as you think you're gonna have to go over it again?
Yeah, probably.
So you're leaving a little bit of rut still?
Yeah, there's like water sitting over there.
There's water sitting over there?
Yeah, in the ruts. And now they're running slippery wet.
Well, once he goes, he's gonna go over it again now, and then hopefully in a few hours he can come back and go over it again, and that'll get it dried enough and get the ruts out that he can, or we can get Allie over here in the roller, and she can roll it and make it firm enough on the top to make a seed bed. April 8th. And whatever can happen to keep us from doing what we want to do is what keeps happening. And so right now we're fixing a water leak, me and Allie here. And it's a 1-inch water line that runs from them water troughs over there to that blue water trough into that other concrete water trough down there. And it's split right in front of the bell where two pieces of pipe come together. Not a coupling, but it's a bell that you get on a piece of pipe when you buy it, whatever. I'll be over explaining that. But anyway, so it's split right there. Just finally got it all dug up, and right here's a shutoff for a 2-inch line that runs this way, and that 1-inch line runs across it. This is an old line. This water line's been in the ground probably, I'm gonna say 20 years, if not more. I was just a little kid when I barely remember Wes trenching across this, so I mean I had to be, I may have been 8 years old when that happened. I don't know, but anyway, I have no idea why it split. It just split. So came out here this morning and this was all water, and it was obvious water coming out of the ground. It wasn't water yesterday, or at least from what I remember. Actually, I don't even know if I drove by here this morning or yesterday. But either way, obviously the puddle of water there. See water coming out of the ground, you know it's a water leak. What we've been trying to do is get this field here, number 9, to dry out, to have it done where Allie then could run the roller and roll over it. And they made a few laps, and one of the bearing hangers broke off, and then we noticed a couple bearings out on that little disc, and so now it's sitting up at the shop getting new bearings on it. Or we already took it apart and Wes went to town to get the bearings. So we're gonna get this water line fixed and then go get that bearings put in, and then hopefully try to get something done, because we got today's 10% chance of rain, which I doubt it does. Today's the first. Yesterday the sun came out, but this morning it's been cloudy, and then finally the sun came out. It's like 90 degrees right now and the wind's blowing, so it should be drying pretty good. Yesterday we did end up going over 2 more fields, about 10 acres in one field and 16 acres in the other field, trying to get them to dry some. Hoping to go over them again this afternoon, and I just want everything done before Saturday for sure. Tomorrow we got a 30% chance, and then Friday should be dry, and then we got an 80% chance of rain on Saturday. So I want everything that's plowed up right now, or that's been gone over at least one time, I want it done before Saturday, before it rains, and then try not to open anything else up before then, so then we don't have to sit around for a week or 2 waiting for it to dry out like we did that field there. We got, let's see, 6, 12, about 24 acres that are done, completely ready. They've been gone over 3 or 4 times. And actually, Allie rolled them, but they were too rough, and then so we ran the little disc and the harrow over them, and then she went over them again with the roller. And right now they're like tabletop smooth, just a little bit compacted, ready for the drill to run over. So that's where we're at. We're gonna get working on this, cutting this water line out and all that good stuff. I ain't gonna video it, but it should be an easy fix. It's just gonna be it's pain in the ass digging a hole, and I'm sure when we cut the water line it's gonna fill up with water because the water's spraying out right now. But we'll cut it out and then we'll put a slip fitting in. May have to put a coupling with a little short piece of pipe and then a slip fitting. I don't know, that bell's about 3 inches, so it might be too much for just a slip fitting or a compression fitting. So we'll get this done. Okay, we replaced 4 bearings on the little disc. Wes and Jeremy did most of the work, and then here in a little bit Jeremy's gonna go back over it again. Or go over the field one more time and try to dry it out. It's not like right here at the gate. Right here at the gates, can't get any worse than this. This is holding water. But out in the middle of the field, he's gonna go over it tonight, and then hopefully it'll pull all the moisture out of it, and then Allie can roll it tomorrow. So we're gonna go run the big disc now. All right, so we're down here discing what we call pin 3 now, which is down in front of the dairy barn. This is kind of a bottom right here, but not too far from the creek. And I went over this yesterday one way, one time to open it up and get it to dry down some. It was planted in rye or cereal rye, and then we it was about done for grazing, so we hauled a whole lot of manure down here, and then actually it rained a whole bunch, and we hauled a lot of manure down here, and so it just got really wet. Plus the water from the manure, and so yesterday I went over and opened it up, it's drying down really quick. Yesterday I could barely go over it. I think I made one pass just to see what it'd be like going the second time, and I barely made it across. Right now I'm going pretty good, so plan is here to go over it, finish it going over the second time, and then it'll dry up a whole lot, and then we can try to get over to the third time tomorrow, and then that should be it for it if it dries out enough, and then we can get in here with that little disc and the roller and get this one done. And with the number 9, Jeremy had just called me. He finally just finished going over it, and it was he said it was still a little wet, that he's sinking a little bit, and so we kind of brainstormed some what we're gonna do. And so tomorrow he's gonna go over it again with the little disc, which would be the third time. And I even told him that he could maybe pull a donut on the cylinder and bury it a little bit more, sink the plow down a little bit more to throw more dirt up in the air, and then that'll help dry it out some and kind of do away with its ruts. And then if he can get it just good enough that the roller can go over it and the tractor on the roller is not leaving a dip from the tire track, that's freaking good enough. Just get it done. So our sand, our soil type is mostly sand, like a sand type loam, if you were wondering. And we do have a little bit of clay here and there that we run into. There's some places that have a sand, like a kind of like a little bit of a red clay with sand mixed in. Most of it's like this here, that's just like a sand type loam dirt. And then there's some places where there's red clay or some gray clay. Not a whole lot of gray clay on the top. Most of the red clay that comes up is where some, maybe like right over here, there was feed troughs for a long time for heifers, and just the topsoil washed off the side of the hill there from the heifers when they were eating at the feed troughs. So you get that red clay that pops up every now and then in places like that, but we don't ever have to really worry about rocks. But the only thing we have to come pick up is limbs and sticks and things like that. So there's one field up, actually it's next to number 9, it's number 10, and for some reason anytime that we've ever plowed that one up, we get some little like cannonball looking iron ore rocks in there, but I mean, you just pick them up and throw them out of the way. So you don't get very many out there. So we're gonna get this over with tonight, and then tomorrow we'll come in here for the third time, and then we'll hopefully it'll dry out enough, and hopefully it doesn't rain. There's a 30% chance of rain tomorrow, and look at that. Kenny's ready to go. If only I can name off all the things that we fixed on that truck, from things missing, all the wires. The last few weeks it's just been trying to figure out the wires, the headlights and all that, because somebody just crisscrossed all the wires and hooked wires together that don't go together and all that. So it's basically ready to go. It's got a couple little small things to fix on it still that are not very important, but yeah, it's ready to go. Last night we ended up getting this all covered up with the little disc and the harrow all smoothed out, and Allie rolled about half of it, and Jeremy rolled the wet spots down the hill or behind the pond there, and this morning then Allie finished rolling up here on high ground, around the houses up here. That field's all done. I just finished the field across the road with the big disc, and so now we're gonna hop in the little disc, go smooth it out, and then have Allie roll it. So that's where we're headed. Today's Friday, by the way. All right, we're about a third of the way through with this field. You can see how good the dirt is. It's getting nice and fluffy and smooth and leveled out, and Allie's over here rolling it. So we're gonna leave you with her for a little bit, and she can explain what she's doing. But basically, when she's going over the roller, she's making it a little bit compacted, where it'll make a nice ride for the grain drill.
Okay, so right now I'm rolling, and as you can see right there, we got the roller going. So far, we've rolled about 45 acres. Since we started, we've done about that much. We're just rolling it so that it's nice and smooth. There's a good seed bed for the drill to go over, so it runs nicely. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing out here while Dad plows with the big and little disc. I'd say this is a lot more, I guess you could say, fun than what I thought I was going to be doing over quarantine. I'm glad I don't have to just stay home and do nothing. I get to come out here and, hang out with my dad some, and, it's nice to have some quality father-daughter time. Yeah, so that's what we're doing right now.
Alright, well, we're done going over this with a little disc. So everything that we have now, which is about 55 acres, is done with the big disc and the little disc. And then a little bit more to roll, maybe 5-10 acres. That'll be done tonight. And then tomorrow and Sunday it's supposed to rain like an inch or two, so that's kind of a hustle getting this done. And then once it dries up again, then we'll try to go get the rest of what we want to get done, which will be about 100 acres. So with that being said, thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little different over a few days, but it's been a real struggle trying to get all this done with the amount of moisture we've been getting. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.